everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. We are very excited today. We are here to preview the movies coming out in Love Ever After in February and even a little beyond on Hallmark Channel and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. Going to be really fun. I just knew I had to do it. And I had to have my friend Dory here to help me with this preview.
Yay! I'm so excited to be here. It's been a while.
I know. Thank you
Maybe
so
like
much.
a month.
I know. It all blends together. Was it the end of December, I guess, was our last time that we did a recap. But you were kind enough, you and your co-hosts on your podcast were kind enough to join us for the Hallmarkies Awards.
What
and
a
so
treat.
We appreciate your performance, your participation.
I love that you said performance because it was a performance,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
You even made hats and stuff. It was great.
I ordered a tiara for it from Amazon, and we really went all out. Mel went to Party City to get an ensemble. We really did it up big. So thank you for having us.
That's comforting to know that Party City is still a thing, because no one does have any parties anymore.
Oh, Party City's still a thing, apparently.
That's
Mel
good.
had to travel to the big city in Maine to stop at Party City. So we really prepared for this.
Yeah, if you go to Party City these days, it's like a quarantine party for one kit.
You can basically get some balloons to cheer yourself up,
It's like your Zoom party.
Exactly. You can dress your Zoom set with the decorations, all kinds of things.
We recently did a murder mystery party with my family for my 40th birthday. The big 40 happened.
Just how you were expecting to spend it, right? On Zoom.
Yes, and we did a murder mystery party with the Great British Bake Off theme. And they was called the Great British Bump Off. What's the name of the game?
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, so that was really fun.
Who was the killer?
It was my brother-in-law, and he was I forget his name. I think it was like Macaroon. I think was his name, Macaroon, and he was a Scottish golfer, and he did the full accent and everything. It was really funny.
Oh, that's amazing! I'm glad he got into it.
Yeah, and then my cute little niece, she was really dedicated to it and getting into it. And she's taking notes, and she is, which was adorable. She's like, I think I know who it is, and
that's so cute. She took notes.
Oh yeah, very thorough notes too, and that was really fun. But so yeah, big 4-0. But we recently had New Year, new movies, not Winterfest anymore. But what do you think? Did you get to see any of the January movies at all?
I have a confession. I did not watch any.
Oh, really? That's okay.
I'm sure I will marathon them at some point, but I didn't watch any. I am ashamed to say.
No, that's okay. I have not been able to get through Snowkissed yet. That one.
Ooh, really?
Challenging for me. Even though I like all the people involved, it's just not working for me. But the 3 previous to that, I thought were quite great. I think it was way better than last year. If New Year's new movies is what they had to do in order to not repeat last year, that's what I think they did a great job, because to me there was just so many misses last year. This year, almost all successes. So, and I haven't watched the mystery yet either. So I haven't watched the Martha's Vineyard mystery yet because of Sundance and all that fun stuff. But
never you fear. If there's one thing I can do, it's marathon some movies. So I'm sure if you talk to me in 2 days, I will have watched them all.
Yeah. And we had so much fun too, because we had the Taking a Shot at Love. We did an individual movie recap with Lala Fitzgerald, who's a ballerina in real life. And so that was pretty fun to get to.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
She's adorable. But anyway, moving on, we have February movies. And the reason why I wanted to do a preview is because I feel like these movies are kind of bonkers and crazy.
I'm
So I was
so
like, we have to
excited for
preview
this.
them.
Yeah, I'm
And
excited.
and we are going to do the 2 in March because usually those are kind of like in between. Spring Fling hasn't started the last 2 years until the end of March. So I figured they'll do that as well. But let's dive in. Let's get started. So the first one that we have coming up, this is going to air. This preview will air on Saturday, so it'll be that night. The 6th, it's Beverly Hills Wedding. And it stars Brooke D'Orsay and Brendan Penny. Directed by Paul Ziller, who's done tons. And it has 3 writers, including Joie Boken. And she has done a lot of different stuff. I guess when I interviewed her, which will air on Monday, actually, she said that she was involved in a lot of the project, but then kind of moved away from the project. So I don't know how much of her influence will really be on the end result, but nevertheless, she is involved on the writing side. And so this one is about when small town wedding photographer Molly's baby sister gets engaged, she enters the budget-conscious couple in a contest and wins a dream wedding. An all-expenses-paid, celeb-worthy event at a historic Beverly Hills hotel thrown by planner to the stars, Terrence Roquefort. It all seems perfect, but when the engaged couple seems uneasy with the new plans and maid of honor duties bring Molly closer to the best man, her ex-boyfriend Corey, she reconsiders whose dreams she is trying to fulfill. So, what are your initial thoughts hearing this summary?
That's a lot. My head is spinning. That there's a lot happening there.
Yeah.
Those were a lot of words you just read. I feel a little anxious. Like it just seems like it's going to be a bit much. But I adore Brooke D'Orsay. I'll watch anything she's in. And I will put my reservations aside to support this movie, even though it involves a wedding. And a lot of times, wedding-related Hallmark movies are not my jam.
You join me in that. I didn't know. For some reason,
I
didn't realize that you weren't into the wedding movies like I.
Here's the thing, Rachel. I want to be into the wedding movies. I go in every time wanting to be into it. I love a wedding. And there are just very few. You know what? You know what did it? You know what did it? The Wedding March did it. You know what did it? Like, that really messed me up with these wedding movies.
That second Wedding March movie especially was... Ooh!
Oh,
that one was really bad with the Bridezilla horrible lady. I just can't stand the Bridezillas. I mean, and of course, Brooke D'Orsay is not going. The closest she ever got to being a Bridezilla would be June and January,
right? Which she was not a Bridezilla at all.
She was not a bride. She was. She had a lot of opinions and stuff, which is fine, but and a lot of conflict with Mary Lou Henner, but. But I feel like Brooke D'Orsay needs a win. I feel like she has not had a really great Hallmark movie.
You and Brooke have been having problems the past couple of years. You need to reconcile.
I do love her. I really do. But I don't feel like she's had a great movie since Miss Christmas.
It breaks my heart, but you're right. Like it's really hard because Miss Christmas is so wonderful that it's like we're chasing the Miss Christmas high and we're never gonna get it back. But I do love her and I think she's delightful and I have hope I have hope that this is gonna be a cute movie, but the wedding thing and a contest and a best man, I don't know.
But the director, Paul Ziller, he's had a pretty great hot streak here.
Okay.
You have Good Morning Christmas.
Oh,
Great.
yes.
Just my type. Favorite of spring for me, at least. Love that. Love in Store. It saved Valentine's last year.
Amen.
So that's pretty good.
So we've got upside. We've got upside here.
Mm-hmm. And Brendan Penny can be charming when he's trying to be. I really like Dash of Love. That's one of my favorites with him and Jen Lilly. And, Joie can do great stuff when she has, she's done some really good scripts. And it also has Matthew McCall in it, who I think is kind of underrated. I would love to see him have more. He's the lead in the Haley Dean movies, but we haven't seen those for a while.
Yeah, where are those?
I don't know. I would like to see. I really would. But he was, I thought, very charming in Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater.
Yeah, he was very cute.
As the BFF. And he played the villain in the most recent Aurora Teagarden. He was the Reunited.
The reunion one, yeah.
Yeah, he was the villain.
Yeah.
So he plays the celebrity wedding planner, whatever. And I think he could be very funny. I hope so. As this kind of David,
the more
David Tara-esque.
The more you say, the more interested I am. So
yeah. So all right. Well, and I feel like they so rarely do anything. I guess you had the sister of the bride that was set in Palm Springs, but they don't have very many of these movies that are set in California or the like warmer climates, or I guess the summer movies usually are, but yeah. I don't know. I just feel like Beverly Hills is very unique.
It is. It is a unique location for these movies. As someone who lives in Los Angeles, the location is the least interesting thing about this to me. But it could be cute. We'll see.
But I'm sure you'll be saying this is very Vancouver as Beverly Hills.
Oh my gosh. It'll be like my reaction when the Christmas movie where they went to Solvang and it snowed. And I had thoughts.
Which they didn't even need to make it snow. No. There was no reason. But anyway, so this movie, we do our holiday, our Valentine's preview ranking by, would you give this movie a box of chocolates, bottom one, would you give this movie a broken heart? Would you give it a box of chocolates, a dozen roses, or a diamond ring? That's the scale of Valentine's gifts.
I'd give it a box of chocolates.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'd give it like a really good box of chocolates. We're talking like Godiva.
Yeah. Fancy chocolate.
Right. So, all right, let's move on. Okay, so next we have Playing Cupid. This is on the 13th. This stars Lara Vandervoort, Nicholas Gonzalez, and Mia Quaranta de la Rosa. And it is written by Nina Wiseman, based on a book by Jenny Meyerhoff. And it's a modern-day Emma finds David Martinez being secretly set up with his daughter's teacher when the young girl begins a matchmaking business for a school project. And we had the chance to talk to Lara. I actually talked to her today, believe it or not. And I know. And it sounds like it's a really cute project. And the idea is that I think she is the teacher. They do they have to the kids have to design like an app or something like that, and some kind of project. And so she ends up designing this dating app or whatever, and wanting to put her and her dad and her teacher together. And I guess it has a little bit of a kind of Mexican culture feel to it, with they show on the poster those I don't know what they're called, but the cutouts, the
banners. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And so
the decorations. Yeah.
And I really liked Lara in the Christmas exchange
Mm-hmm.
that she did for Lifetime last season. I thought it was really charming. Where this was kind of a take on the holiday type idea where they switch houses, and but unlike the holiday where you end up falling in love with the person that you switched, somebody there where you switched, they actually fall in love with each other as
Mm-hmm.
they're living in each other's environments and writing emails back and forth to each other. So I thought it was cute. I liked it. And I saw it and I thought, well, she could have real potential in this genre if she wants. So I'm
Right.
pretty excited about it. And of course, Nina, I'm always going to be excited about that. I'm a little nervous when I saw modern day Emma.
Yeah. That's the one sticking point.
Because Hallmark has not done my Jane Austen right.
Not great.
No, they have not. And so, I mean, the only one I can even think of that I liked was, I guess, Unleashing Mr. Darcy way back in the day. I
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed that. It's partly because Ryan Paevey's like perfect to play Darcy.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, but all the other ones have frustrated me because they're not Jane Austen adaptations at all. It's just a name only.
Right. It feels very unnecessary, and it feels like they use it as like a hook to try and get people to watch. But then I feel like if you are an Austen fan, like you are inevitably disappointed. Like it's just, I feel like it's so unnecessary. Like a lot of times these movies, stand on their own and they don't really need like that little extra, maybe the characters share some names and some character traits. You just don't need it, And
Yeah,
I think sometimes it's a detriment, like the Wizard of Oz movie,
oh
uh,
yeah.
over
Like
Christmas, CCB's movie.
yeah.
Don't even get me started.
Like for instance, the Pemberley Manor movie was perfectly cute. It was perfectly fine.
Right.
But the having all of the Jane Austen Pride and Prejudice names where it made no sense and wasn't at all like Pride and Prejudice was distracting because you're like, why is Captain Wentworth you're like, why is why is Wickham a good person in this version of the story? Like,
Right.
why is he the mayor? That makes no sense. So you're waiting for him to do something bad because that's his character in the story. And I don't know, like it's just distracting and frustrating. And so in the sensibility, literally they gave the wrong name. Like they had the high-spirited one named Eleanor, which makes no sense.
Yeah, they should have been switched.
Yeah, Marianne is the high-spirited one, not Eleanor. And so things like that are annoying. But it might just be in the summary. At least it's not called like Emma or, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because obviously you can do amazing modern adaptations of Emma. Clueless, hello.
Right.
So what would you give it? Would you give it we have in our preview scale? Would you give it?
I mean, I think all of the cool things about it that you mentioned outweigh my Austen hesitation. And I would actually give this the dozen roses.
Yeah, me too. Same. All right. So then we have on the 20th, we have Mix Up in the Mediterranean. And this stars Jeremy Jordan, who I heart Jeremy Jordan, and Jessica Lowndes. And it is written by Julie Kim and Corinne Marwood. And they have both done Nostalgic Christmas and Love Blossoms. And it's a small town cook impersonates his big city chef twin to compete in a culinary contest and falls for the woman in charge of the event who thinks he is the brother who is married. And evidently, in the original summary that they had, the brother is married to a man.
Really?
Yes. And so it's like, and they don't have it in the summary now, but it was originally, because I remember talking to Lisa about it, our friend Lisa, being like, we need more information about this.
Right. Can they expand a bit? We'd like to know the story behind this. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if they will take that out or if it's still a thing or what is happening. What's going on, but double the Jeremy Jordan. I'm behind that.
Yeah, he's great.
I love him.
I mean, does he sing? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the question on everyone's mind. Does he get a song?
Yeah. And I don't know, it sounds kind of bonkers, kind of fun.
Yeah, it's
What do you
this
think?
this sounds crazy to me. Um, but I like the twin thing. Especially because you know those twins on Top Chef, those twin chef brothers.
Yes.
That so that feels
Latagios?
yeah, exactly. So
Oh,
that kind of feels right to me. I like that. And I also really loved Love Blossoms. Like I feel like a lot of people felt it was pretty forgettable. But I really love it a lot. It's like one of my favorites. And so I did not feel the same way about Nostalgic Christmas, but I know that there's potential with these writers to deliver me something I enjoy.
mhm. I was a little bored by Love Blossoms. It's not like
Everyone
I
says
didn't hate
that.
it,
I did
but
not think it was boring. I loved it.
the whole tension of, can I create the perfect
I loved
perfume?
it.
It's
Like,
like
Rachel, I can't even describe to you, I loved every minute of it. Every flower they picked, I love that in the end, like, they can't do it in the lab, so they're, like, mixing
yeah,
formulas in the
yeah.
bathtub, like, I
Scrappy.
love that
They're
he
very
can
scrappy.
he could pick the notes out of every, she dropped her scarf into a bowl of flowers and he knew they were apple blossoms or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm telling
yeah,
you, I love that movie.
yeah. Uh,
Every minute of it.
fair enough. I do share your love for it. I don't
Anyone
hate
with
it though.
me? Anyone out
It just
there?
yeah,
Please
yeah,
let me
let us
know
know.
because I've literally never heard of another fan of this movie. And if you are, will you like DM
Yeah.
me, tweet me, please? Thank
Let
you.
Dory know
Yeah.
because yeah, I was not invested on the those I call them the scientific farmer movies. It's like will the poinsettias be red or will the tulips bloom or will the wine be ready? I'm just like not in.
Is the olive oil like
Yeah,
is the olive oil, you know,
yeah.
tasty enough?
Not my favorite, but nevertheless, they can certainly make a good film. And yeah, if the it could be an interesting thing to have this twins,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that you've got one the gay twin and one like okay, it'll be
Mm-hmm.
interesting. And and because that's the thing with like twins is even if they're identical twins, like they don't literally look identical. Like they have like differences. Once you get to know them, and you can tell them apart.
Well, and also
But
like full-blown adults have different styles, hair lengths,
yeah,
you know.
and
Um
you have different weights and different
right.
like they're not the same.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not like
So
mom is still dressing them in, the same little suits. They're adults.
yeah. And I don't know how they will what they'll do as far as the Mediterranean aspect of it, where it was filmed. There was what's going on with that, but anyway, I like Jessica Lowndes and I like Jeremy Jordan, and so I'm gonna give this one a nice box of chocolates. We'll see. We'll see. It could be a total disaster, but
I'm also
there's the
giving this
hoping.
one chocolates. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
I'm right in line with you. Like I think this could be fun and like, you know,
Uh-huh.
fun and zany, or I could be immediately out. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, the 27th, we have It Was Always You. And this is Aaron Krakow and Tyler Hines, Giles Panton, Elisa Rotaro, and Nelson Wong, which Tyler, Giles, Alicia, and Nelson we have all had on the podcast. So they this is we haven't had Aaron on yet. Come on, Aaron, come on our show.
Yeah,
But
what's Erin doing? I'm
I don't
shocked she
know.
hasn't been
Come
on
on.
before.
Come on. It's a pretty fun cast. I feel like I know the cast somewhat well. And the plot is Elizabeth's engagement plans are thrown into disarray when her fiance's free-spirited brother David returns home. David's unexpected influence prompts Elizabeth to question her life decisions. So we have another kind of wedding movie with this one. But the what do we think about Tyler Hynes being the free-spirited brother?
I think that they probably casted that perfectly. I can see him as like not just the free spirit, but as more like the not bad boy, because like are any of these Hallmark leading men bad boys?
Right.
But like he's, the one who probably took a different path and has not necessarily traveled on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. The one who wants her to make like more free-spirited wedding choices.
Exactly.
That's exactly.
Exactly. Like I feel like that is perfect for him. That's his whole vibe, I think that's what we love about him in a lot of ways.
Well, and we've seen this a lot where you have kind of you have the man of business, kind of and then you have the more free-spirited brother or other associate that comes in, and all of a sudden the stuffed shirt that they're with doesn't look so great.
Right.
So, and poor Giles, he always ends up wearing the stuffed shirt. He's so charming. And so, yeah, I'm gonna give this one chocolates as well. I mean, Tyler Hynes is so charming. And I prefer Erin personally when she's in a more modern setting than on When Calls the Heart, because I think she actually can be funny if she's allowed to be funny.
Right.
And I liked her in the photographer movie with Ryan McPartlin. Right. That one I think that one's pretty good. So what will you give this one?
I'm also going to give this chocolates. I think that this is a highly anticipated pairing. Yeah. And I'm very interested to see what their chemistry is like, what the story is like. So yeah, I'd give them a nice box of chocolates.
We just want to take a break from the show just to have a little check-in before we go on in the show. So we actually want to talk about our sponsor for this week, BetterHelp. In 2021, it's definitely okay to talk about your mental health, about your happiness. Humans aren't meant to keep everything inside. It can make us sick, and therapy helps. But what is therapy exactly? It's whatever you want it to be. Maybe you're not feeling motivated right now. Maybe you need some tools to help. Maybe you've got stress, insecurity, problems in your relationship, are not dealing well with things going on in your life. And that's what therapy can be.
And whatever you need, don't be ashamed, because normal humans struggle and they start to feel better, and that's okay. It's good to start to feel better because you deserve to be happy. And now you don't have to worry about finding an in-person therapist near you to help. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers you video, phone, or a live chat session with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to.
The good thing is BetterHelp is much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join millions of people who are seeing what therapy is really about. See if it's for you, because you are your greatest asset.
So this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Hallmarkies podcast listeners can get 10% off of their first month of Better at betterhelp.com/Hallmarkies. That's betterhelp.com/Hallmarkies. Thank you for supporting the show.
Very good. All right. Well, next, here's where the Promising Seamstress one that I don't know why I had it at the top. I have it twice. The next one is called Fit for a Prince. And this on the 6th, and this stars Natalie Hall, who we adore. We loved. She did our watch along. She's so cute. And Jonathan Zelt. And it's a promising seamstress designs dresses for a charity ball, hoping to impress the royal guest. Though the dresses seem destined for disaster, the two still may manage to find their happily ever after. So we have her playing the commoner in a, she already, that we had our watch along of a Winter Princess where she was playing a princess.
Mhm.
And here she is playing a commoner who, seamstress, who is designing dresses to impress the royal guests. And obviously meets this prince in the process. So what do you think about this one?
Maybe I am just riding the absolute high of royal holiday, but I could go for a good royal movie right now. So I'm here for this. I mean, I love Natalie Hall. I love when our protagonist is like a fashion designer or a seamstress, whatever. I like that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So I have pretty high hopes for this one. I think that I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just in a royal mood. I'm into it.
And I love Natalie Hall. I really do. I love the
she's
7-Year
great.
Hitch. I like that Sylvain movie wasn't the best in the world, but like
she was
so cute in it.
Right. Even though that movie wasn't great, like she was what hooked me in and kept me watching. She just couldn't have been cuter or more fun.
And Midnight at the Magnolia was good on Netflix, in my opinion. And then You're Making Me Crazy was good.
So cute. Yeah.
So fun. So she's fun. So that's enough to kind of get me excited. And I don't know the guy at all.
I don't either, but I love a new face. I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Jonathan Zelt. Let me see here. I'm looking him up. Yeah, there we go. He looks charming. So way to go.
Does he look princely?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Very good.
He doesn't have at least I'm having a hard time finding his IMDb, so maybe he's really new.
Ooh, a mystery. I like this even more.
So, all right. I will give this one chocolates. Royal movies can be pretty boring, but I hope that it'll be good. And I give a box of chocolates to Natalie.
to Natalie alone.
To Natalie alone.
You know what? I am 100% with you. I'm giving Natalie the finest box of chocolates for this movie, but just her to eat all on her own. No one can steal one.
All right. Then we have on the 20th of March, we have Chasing Waterfalls. And this stars Cindy Busby and Christopher Russell. They're back after their strong film with Love in the Forecast.
Rachel, I'm really glad you laughed. I was like, is she really going to get through this entire statement with a straight face? I think not.
It was the
savior for that chuckle. I was waiting for that chuckle. I was like, she better laugh with these words.
Come on, June was the worst. There was no happiness except for Cindy Busby in her ring gear. That was the only happiness in all of June.
Rachel, so. I am standing by my stance that you did not like that movie. You were just desperate. Rachel can tell me for the rest of our lives, she is going to tell me that she liked this movie, but I know better. I know better. She didn't like it. She was desperate.
Yeah. Desperate times. What are you going to do? All right. So this is directed by Christopher Wolfe, who's done many, many films, including Love in the Forecast. And it was written by Jason Broke and Tamara Junkin are the names. And it's photographer Amy travels to a remote lodge to find mythical waterfalls and falls for handsome guide Mark. They adventure to find the mystic waterfall and discover their true feelings.
I hate this description.
I mean, come on. We get another photographer, though, in the long line of
I hate this description so much. Mystic waterfalls and discover their true feelings. No.
Yeah, in one sense, they used to find the mythical waterfalls and the adventure to find the mystic waterfall.
The mythical mystic waterfalls. No.
I love you, Hallmark summary writer. Can we be friends? Please come on the podcast.
Yeah, please come on the podcast. I have questions.
Yes. And but yeah, I mean, how many we should do a ranking sometime of Hallmark photographers, because
we should best photographer movies. We should absolutely do a ranking.
Yeah.
I have plenty of thoughts.
Because I mean, we did that one with Aaron Krakow. So there's so many. It's like the go-to if they want to be like a creative free spirit.
Totally.
Oh, there's a photographer.
Totally.
And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do think it's a pretty good fit to have your handsome tour guide be Christopher Russell. I don't know if I can buy him his name Mark for some reason. That doesn't feel.
I love that that's bothering you.
No offense to anybody named Mark, but it just doesn't feel like Christopher Russell to me. But I don't know. Do you have any hope for this one?
No, I don't.
No
hope. I'm really sorry. I love Christopher Russell and I love Cindy. No, I have no hope.
Hopefully it will surprise us. But yeah, broken heart, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, broken heart. Like, I mean, I was laughing the second I read this synopsis. I was like, you know what? It's not going to be for me.
I mean, why do they have a lodge if it's this remote lodge? Is everybody at the lodge trying to find the
wait a
waterfall?
minute. Was Christopher Russell in the Emily
Yes, he was.
movie where he played the tour guide or whatever?
Yeah, he was.
I mean, they try and give him this role a lot, and to be fair, he is like great as that kind of like outdoorsy, whatever. But these movies tend to fall flat for me, especially if there's any CGI. If there's any CGI, I'm done. The CGI in that glamping movie was outrageous. Didn't they CGI like a full bear, and it was just too much. I'm so sorry, broken heart.
All right, so now we're on to the mysteries. So we have Crossword Mysteries Terminal Descent. And this is, of course, Lacey Chabert, Barbara Niven, Brendan Elliott, Brandy Alexander is in this one. And it is directed by Peter Benson. So yeah,
fun.
We love him. And after volunteering to participate in a crossword solving competition with a new supercomputer, crossword puzzle editor Tessa Harper finds herself swept into the investigation of the bizarre murder of a tech CEO. So, what do you think? Well, I think the thing is that by this point, I think that poor Tess would have like a reputation around her. Don't go around Tess. People get murdered.
Yeah, exactly.
You're around
People
Tess.
Die. Yeah.
That's the hard part about these ones that don't involve actual people that would naturally be investigating, right? Like,
right, totally.
Your news people or your,
your photographer.
Yeah. When you have librarians and morning show chefs and crossword mystery.
Don't hate on Billy Blessings, Rachel. You know better than that in my presence.
I mean, I guess it all started with the baker with Murder She Baked. And it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's fine. And I do like Lacey and Brennan. I think they are good together. I like Brennan in this role in particular. I think he makes a pretty good. He makes a good cop, and I wish they would use Barbara Niven more. I feel like in this series they don't use her very. Poor Barbara. She never gets like. I was so disappointed in USS Christmas that she had like hardly anything to do.
I was actually really surprised because they definitely used her for promo. I thought we'd see more of her in that movie.
And I just feel like Hallmark hardly ever really, like, she's such a good actress, and I wish they would give her more to do in general.
Give her a movie. Find love later in life. Come on now. Yeah. Give her a movie.
It would be great at that. And so I would love to see more with her. I like the name, Crossword Mysteries, Terminal Descent.
Yeah, that is a good name. It's better. It's better than Abracadaver, which I hated.
I like that one, but yeah, you and your hatred of magic.
Magic is terrible.
It's delightful. You're crazy. But I don't know. I actually don't think this one sounds that bad for what it is. I mean, they've gotten her in this competition. She's coming up against a supercomputer, and the tech guy is murdered. So they'll both be kind of out of their element, I think.
Right.
And yeah, I for the most part have liked these. I think they've all been pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely I like this series overall. I do. Yeah. I mean, I know that I hated on the magic one like hard, and that's like a personal problem, but I do overall I have enjoyed these movies. So you know, I mean, I'm going to watch it and I'll probably like it. I mean, for me with these mysteries, the bar is like on the floor. Like I will watch any mystery you put in front of me and I'll probably end up being invested and like it somehow. I am giving this one, you know what? I'm giving it chocolate. Like maybe Hershey's Kisses, but it's getting some chocolates.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna also give it chocolates. We're getting a lot of chocolates in this episode.
Yeah, it's almost like we're traumatized and like we're scarred and we're afraid to love again.
I take it back. I'm gonna give Fit for Prince. I'm gonna give it flowers. I'm gonna Natalie Flowers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm going back. All right, we have Chronicle Mysteries, Helped to Death, and this is Allison Sweeney, Benjamin Ayers, Rebecca Staub, Allison Wanzura, and it's Alex and Drew investigate a self-help retreat and the controversial life coach who oversees it.
Yes, give me give it, put it in my veins. Like this is what I want. I love a scammer. I love a cult. I love a quote unquote self-help retreat. Oh yeah. This is right up my alley.
It does sound fun. I have not been a fan of the Chronicle Mysteries. I like all the people involved. I really do. I guess I'm just too close to podcasting. And so like it just frustrates me because I don't think they've used the podcasting element well. And she's just a reporter.
Yeah, it doesn't make much
she's
sense.
not and like that's not, if you're doing scripted podcasts like Serial or something, that's not how they do Serial.
No, not at all.
It's not like those are cold cases. Like it just doesn't make any sense. You're not reporting
in like real time. The format doesn't necessarily lend itself to like, you know, reporting in the moment.
Mm-hmm. And of course we had the one with the olive oil. That one, but so this is not my favorite series, but I'll give it like a cheap thing of chocolates. But hopefully it'll be good. I'll give like 7-Eleven chocolates.
Like you're giving it like Christmas chocolates the day after Christmas.
Yeah, at 7-Eleven.
Yeah. Like deeply discounted chocolates. I hear you. I'm giving it flowers just because of the scammer. Like it sounds like there's a scammer and I love that. I love that theme. And so I'm excited.
Well, the last thing that we wanted to preview is not even on Hallmark Channel. It's on Netflix and it's on the 12th of February. We have To All the Boys, Always and Forever. And this stars Lana Condor, of course, and Noah Centineo. And it's as Lara Jean Covey prepares for the end of high school and the start of adulthood, a pair of life-changing trips leads her to reimagine what life with her family, friends, and Peter will look like after graduation. And so basically in the trailer, she is planning on going to Stanford with Peter and trying to figure out if she's going to get in or what she's going to do. But then she takes a trip to New York City and she kind of falls in love with it. And now she wants to go to New York City, but she also wants to be with Peter. So here's a conflict. And you have just been introduced to all the boys. Is that correct?
Yes. It's one of those movies, the first two, when they came out, people were raving about them, but for whatever reason, they just kind of fell off my list. Like, it's really hard to keep up with all of the great content that is out there.
There really is.
So, I am, eternally grateful that you had me on today. So I felt a need to watch both of the movies.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I couldn't love them more. They're just so, there's just such an emotional honesty to teenagers, and those movies do it so well. And I'm obsessed. I was like sitting on my couch all afternoon, like,
I knew you would love. I was just like, you got to watch it. And of course, it's so nice to have a little bit of representation. And Lana is so cute.
And her whole family, like, I just was like falling between crying and laughing and swooning the entire movies. Like, I love a romance that's actually about, the other relationships too. And I love her and her sisters and her best friend. And like, oh my goodness, these movies are so cute. I can't handle it.
The hot tub scene? Oh, that was pretty good.
Listen, I was not prepared for that at all.
Yeah.
When she got in there clothed, I was like, oh, she is getting her man, and I'm here for it. You go, Lara Jean. Oh my goodness. And when he was writing her letters, like, he would just pass her notes. Oh, I can't handle it.
And Noah Centineo is so charming. I think he's
not
going
right.
to be a big star.
It's not right that he is that charming and that attractive. And that like funny. It's just not fair.
Yeah, I was trying to think of who he kind of reminds me of. Like, if I was going to see the next Tom Cruise or the next Brad Pitt, or like who he would be kind of comparable to. I think he sort of almost has a Harry Connick Jr. look to him as well.
Yeah, there's just like, I think what's so fun about him too is like there's a real kind of quirkiness to him. Like, he's very attractive and very charming, and a lot of like the traditional kind of leading man swoon-worthy ways, but he's also kind of quirky, and it's so cute.
Yeah, and then the second one, they tried to give this love triangle, but I didn't really like that. I could have gotten rid of the whole love triangle because I didn't think it really, I guess in the book it's way better, but in the movie, I just felt like that wasn't that interesting to me. I was more interested in their relationship, and I thought the ending when they kiss after the party and oh
my god,
they say, I thought that was really good
when he says break my heart, and he is standing outside of that, oh my goodness, on the stairs. I just swoon.
It was
break
very
my heart. Break my heart. I don't care. I love you.
My friend Conrado and I, every year we do our own awards show over on my channel, and we have best kiss that we give every year, and that ending kiss was my pick for best kiss of 2020. Of 2020 was in the second To All the Boys.
I mean, it's so good. And he comes to pick her up, and he's like, you don't like to drive in the snow? Oh, come on, Rachel.
And they have such good chemistry, the two of them.
They do.
And I liked in the second movie, I felt like they made Peter more of a fully fledged person. Because in the first one, he's obviously super swoon-worthy, but he's also, I called him a little bit of a manic pixie dream guy, because he just kind of goes with whatever she says and whatever she does. Whereas I think in the second one, they made him like more of a real character who has opinions and personality. And I liked that. And,
there was definitely more depth to him in the 2nd one.
So I think this third one has a lot of potential as you see them branching off. And what's she going to do? Is she going to go to Stanford with him? Or is she going to go to New York? Are they going to try to long distance it? What's going to happen? I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think that the other like great thing about this movie is the supporting characters. Like I love all their friends. They're all really cute and they all have history. Like I like that too about the friendships, like the whole time capsule storyline in the second movie. It's like these people have history. Like it feels real, like a real kind of high school experience. I mean, I think it's needless to say after all of that word vomit I just let out about how obsessed I am with this movie that I am so excited it's getting a diamond ring from me.
Yeah, diamond ring for me too. Teresa Maharo's in these and he's charming. He's been on our show.
Chanel Parrish.
And
John Corbett as her dad. Like, come on. It's just like heavy hitters. It's so good.
Yeah, I agree with you. Diamond ring. And so it's my most anticipated of February of all the romances we talked about. So
same. Thank you for gently suggesting that I watch it. And it was gentle. She said, you don't have to, but like, I think you'd like it. And I was like, all right, if we're going to talk about it, I'm going to watch it. And I'm so glad I did. Although it did make me really depressed to be single. As I sat on my couch, I was like, you know what? I'm really jealous of Lara Jean. 16-year-old Lara Jean. Very jealous right now.
I know. It's like, who can I make somebody can send out my letters or whatever.
I know. I'm like looking at the dog, like, Zero, if I write some letters, can you send them out for me?
It did kind of it reminded me of when I was in middle school, actually, where my little sister, who is my sister's 10 years younger than me, this sister, and she found my planner book. And you kind of have phone numbers in your planner or even in your phone of people that you don't really talk to that much anymore. They're like old numbers. Well, I did. And she called every single person in my planner book. And I was mortified.
What did she say?
She was just like chatting it up with them. And I mean, she's like literally 4 or 5 years old.
She was just calling to say hi to everybody.
Yeah. She's like, hi, it's Anna. Blah, 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 blah. And my mom was just cracking up. She thought it was so funny. And she's like, I don't know why you're so upset. And I was so embarrassed.
Hi, it's Anna. So cute. That is adorable.
Yeah, and so I kind of relate to Lard G. Getting a letter sent by her little sister.
That scene, even though because I knew the premise of the movie, but even watching that scene, my heart seized up for her. Like when she's talking to Noah about the letter. Noah Fresh Peter. When she's talking to him about the letter, and then she sees what's his name, Samuelson or whatever.
Yeah.
She sees him walking up and he's got a letter in his hand. It's like she passes out, and that is the appropriate response.
Yeah, I literally do remember going to school and all these people like I didn't even know all that well were like, hey, your sister called me yesterday.
That is so freaking funny.
Yeah.
Your sister called me yesterday just to talk.
Yeah, just to chat it up. So there you go. That's my middle school shame.
Oh man, that is a good one. That's very cute though.
Yeah, it is. In retrospect, I can see why my mom was like, what are you complaining about?
I know. She's probably loving it. She's like, yeah, call the next person, honey.
Yeah. But when you're in middle school, everything is trauma.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And like you're so protective of like your image and your you know, how you present yourself to your friends. It's like you don't want your baby sister. You're like, what did you say to them? Did you embarrass me?
Well, there we go. That is these movies. So let us know in the comments what you think. What are you excited for? You giving out way more diamond rings than we are. We want to know what you think. We only for all the boys. But let us know in the comments, and hope that you all have a really fun Valentine's, and we'll be excited to cover them. And so, Dory, where can people find you?
You can find me at All the Feels Pod on Twitter, on Facebook, and download All the Feels podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Have all of my reviews from the movies I watched at Sundance. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. And then also make sure you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast all over social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please give both of our podcasts ratings and reviews. We really appreciate it. And if you are listening on YouTube, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patron group, which is so fun. We have a really fun watch along coming up this month where we're going to be watching Daro and Daro with Lala Fitzgerald, who plays Lulu on that series. So that will be really fun. And that'll be on the 20th of February. So check that out. And we also have our merch store, which we have some Valentine's designs. So by artist Jessica Miller. So please check that out. And thanks so much. This was really fun and hope you all enjoyed it. And we'll talk to you all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.